welcome to Activation Today. No matter how loud these meditations are or not, it doesn't matter. You're still receiving what you need by doing these meditations or activations. It's best to do them 3 to 7 times a day. And remember to sit with your feelings if you're feeling anything other than positive. If you're feeling anything other than positive, it's best to sit and meditate and feel it out. Breathe into it until that feeling or discomfort dissipates into nothingness once again. If you're feeling anything other than positive, that's the best time to meditate. And you want to have the courage to face yourself, because there's really the only conflict that there is the one within. And if that's what you're dealing with in your outer world, then the best thing for you to do is to meditate and to keep doing that. Until there is no more inner conflict. You know, it's important to stay focused on raising your vibration, and it's important to stay focused on your alignment. You hear so many people talking about your alignments, your vibration. Well, how do you think you get there? By meditating. How often do you pray or give gratitude to God? And remember, there's nothing you can't be, do, or have. But what are you willing to do to get it? How often are you willing to spend time doing these sessions? How important is self-love to you? How important is your alignment and your vibration? It's just things to keep in mind, and when you're out doing your errands and your activities, it's best to keep the mind still if you can do so, no matter where you are. Look how happy they are. gardens here. There's beautiful trees, there's flowers, but the people that live here, I don't really see them protecting the trees, protecting the wildlife. You have organizations that are protecting the coral reefs here, but as far as the people that live here protecting the trees and keeping it wild, I've already seen them cut down trees, and that was so unnecessary. You don't need to cut down trees to put your boat where the trees were. If you don't realize how important nature is to you, then how far do you think you're going to go? And if you're worldly rich and spiritually poor, where do you think you're going? You're not going anywhere. Look at that, a beautiful monarch. See him? Beautiful monarch. It's a beautiful butterfly though. It's a big butterfly. Beautiful. Look at all the bees. We need nature and nature needs us. Look at that. The other garden that I was at had dragonflies, honeybees, butterflies. It had a lot of pollinators there. You don't need more roads, you don't need wider roads, you don't need to cut down trees to build your home or to build your business. Respect the planet that you live on. And be more conscious with what you're consuming. If it can't be composted, why are you buying it? If it's not healthy and safe for the ground, why are you putting it on the ground? The only thing you should be feeding the grass and nature with is organic and wild. Only the best. Not chemicals, not Miracle-Gro, and not Roundup. That's the worst thing that you could do. Because it's a poison. So if you're doing that to the ground, what do you think you're doing to yourself? And then they like to dig up the grass around here and throw white rocks everywhere. It's hideous and it doesn't feel good to walk on. And the businesses that have businesses, you have the airport, you have the markets, you have all the businesses that like to keep things cold. Number one, that's a waste of money. And number two, it's a waste of energy. So therefore, you're being part of the problem. I feel that the airports, at the markets, wherever it is, it's too cold, they should get fined, because it's ridiculous for them to keep it that cold. And if the markets are throwing out tons of food rather than giving back to the community, They're adding to the landfill. They're part of the problem. A lot of businesses have taken businesses and put them out of business. Why would you shop at a store that's taken mom and pop businesses and given back nothing to the community? There's so many easy solutions for people, yet all people think about is business as usual. Can you sell this? Can you sell that? And then you hear them say, oh, purity of heart really doesn't matter. They don't see purity of heart. What they see is your wallet. So, like I said, if you're worldly rich and spiritually poor, you have nothing. And if you're impressed with name and fame, where's that getting you? Is that fulfilling your purpose? Is that being the change you want to see? What do you want to do? Who do you want to be? Where do you want to be? It's not as hard as you think it is. But for some, it's been really unbearable. Look at that. I'd rather see this flowers and pollinators everywhere than some shit shack or somebody cutting down trees to park their boat somewhere, their fishing boat. And what do they give back to the oceans as much as they take out of it every day? I don't know. For what I know, I don't deserve to be living how I'm living. I should have my money I should have the money from everything that was taken from me. My home, everything. I shouldn't be financially struggling just because I decided to do this. I decided to do things the right way. I decided to make this a priority. And, it's like everything you look into, I'm so sick of it. It takes money to make money. And so what happens if you've lost everything and suddenly you're an orphan? Where do you get the money to change your life if you had an opportunity? Where do you get the money to jump on that if suddenly you're an orphan? And yet you hear so many people talk about love and oneness and unity, but if you're out doing the work and you're out here struggling financially, what's unity about that? You don't care that somebody put everything into this and they're struggling financially no matter what they did? No matter how many times they tried, no matter how many ways they tried, no matter what. And the only way that you are going to like I was told, nobody's going to do it for you. There's no savior coming for you. And you can't steal it from another. No matter what you try to do or who you try to pay off, you can't steal somebody's work. It doesn't work like that. You realize you're never alone. And everything is seen, so who are you when you are alone by yourself? Or think you're alone by yourself? Are you working on yourself? Or are you paying others to try to take from another? Because that'll never work. Like I say, I don't back down to what I think is unhealthy or could be better. And I'm tired of being judged and criticized for everything I say. I'm sick and tired of it. Until you've walked a mile in my shoes, you have no business judging me or criticizing me. Especially if I'm not even around anybody. I've been by myself now for I don't even know how long. Probably since October 10th, 2020. I didn't have a friend or family member show up in my physical reality or open their doors to me and say, since you're so focused on your spiritual work, you can stay here for as long as you like. And we'll help you turn your life around financially after losing it all. Nobody did that for me. But I've seen others do that for others and then tell me about it. And yet, no matter what my reality was, I still kept going. I didn't give up. I meditated every single day. I did sessions with my guide. I never gave up. And still, I do sessions with her. And I don't plan on stopping. I plan on taking this as far as I can take it. But financially, I don't belong in this situation that I'm in. And PayPal does not recognize a credit union. It only recognizes the bank. So the only way for me to even get paid is when I do my house calls and I get it on the spot, or Western Union, which someone has sent me Western Union, or a check in the mail to my address where I am now. And then I've heard so many people who think they have the answers. Okay, well, did it work for me? Well, then I guess you don't have the answers. Did I try? Yes, I did try. Did it work? No, it didn't work. because always at the last minute asked me for money I didn't have. And when I just lost my job, that I could have already been set up, but it didn't work out like that. And I'm tired of things not working out the way I want it to. I didn't want to have to do it this way. I had it all planned out of how it was going to work out so I wouldn't have to financially suffer. But that's all it's been. And if you were forced someone to suffer financially or every way that they could, and you don't think that's going to come back to you, it most certainly will, and is, and has, and will continue for as long as you did that and longer. So if you could dish it out, you can take it. Like, I don't do things that way. I stepped onto the spiritual path and just stayed focused on what I was meant to focus on. I wasn't concerned about who was doing what or what was going on. I could care less. I'm just trying to find a solution to my financial situation and to understand what it is that I'm being shown and to remember it, even though my living situation isn't what I want it to be. And I don't know how people cannot care about another who is doing spiritual work and don't give a crap about where they're living, if they have water or food or clean clothes or somewhere to sleep, or if it's raining, are they okay? I've seen many people try to hide or look the other way or make excuses. When you're doing this work, you're in service to all, whether you know it or not. And if you've gotten an idea and you've done something with it and made money, where do you think you got that from? And what did you do? How did you give back to the one you took it from? Did you even think about that? Did you even care? Or was it just all about you and your money? All I know is you haven't seen anyone work as hard as I have since I stepped into this. I have worked tirelessly round the clock since I began without stop. With no vacation and no day off. Now I should have it all by now, financially and in every way. I shouldn't have a want for anything. But to even get myself set up in the way I wanted to, that didn't work out. Oh, look at butterfly. So much action going on here today. Look at them all. And does that make one want to show themselves? Doesn't make me want to show myself. I'm wearing clothes I would never wear. And in fact, they're not mine. They were a gift from one of my clients that I lived with. You hear the world say, oh, purity, I've already mentioned this, purity of heart doesn't matter. What matters is your money. But spirituality, purity of heart matters a whole lot. That is priority. I've stayed on top of these sessions every single day this year, and I began last year, and I haven't missed a day. And each day I never know how it's going to turn out. I just go with the flow, and it's just spontaneous. I don't plan it out, it's just what it is. Just breathe that in. Look at that. It's so much more beautiful when the flowers and the trees are in bloom, or when they're first budding. Can't live in a concrete jungle with just one building after another. That's no way to live. Eventually you're going to have to get out of the concrete jungle and get into nature. And if you're not doing anything to protect nature, then you're also part of the problem. We're all here sharing the planet with other beings. And look at them all right now. If you're not buying up land and keeping it wild and free for them, and you have the means to do so, well, that's on you. This is just so beautiful. This makes you just happy looking at it. Because it's gracing you with its presence. And it's in bloom. I don't know how anyone could not have a heart to just leave this wild and free, or to protect the trees. In this area, I thought they were smarter than what they are. But to cut down a tree in 2024, you're not too smart. And if you're not stopping the developers and the construction workers and the architects from destroying the planet, or at least working with them so that they work in between the trees and nature and not destroy it. I don't know. I can't apologize for being super sensitive. It is what it is. I can't apologize for loving nature the way I do, because I appreciate it and I'm grateful for it. And if everyone went to hug a tree and say thank you for all you do, or walk into nature and say thank you for all you do, see what happens. It's not just about loving and respecting your own immediate family. It's about doing that for nature too. And not every person that you see is homeless is an addict. Could be because they had everything taken from them from another. Or because they were better off without the people that they were surrounded with, because they didn't have their back. They were just trying to take everything. But that all that you do in thought, word, and deed returns to you, whether you know that or not. This is why it's important to focus on yourself and to focus on what brings out the best in you. What do you want to do with your life? Who do you want to be? And focus on that, rather than drama from another, or all the other nonsense. Hopefully I could upload this video and not have to delete it. I created one early this morning, but my phone turned off and I never got to finish it. And nature should be free and wild. Not in a zoo, not in a circus, not at a hotel doing stupid human tricks for a profit. They belong in their own kind, they belong with their own kind in the wild. To be free. How would you like it if you were taken away from your family and living like that? beautiful there. Look at that. It's important to ground yourself. I don't know how long you do it for every day, but it's good to do it for at least 20 minutes. If you have any comments or questions, you can email me or put it in the description box below. If you'd like me to do an energy reading, just send me a picture. Please like, share, and subscribe. The more this gets out to people, the better. And stay on top of these sessions. See, you don't need the lawn cut. It's better that it grows. The longer it is, the better for the pollinators, because then it becomes a meadow, and a meadow is colorful and alive, and you're feeding the pollinators. You don't need to waste your time and energy and money on some stupid lawnmower to cut the grass. Who are you cutting the grass for? The neighbors? So you're maintaining a certain type of look? All it is, well, you meditate and you figure it out. But I feel when I've walked past spaces where they were almost as tall as me, it's beautiful because it's alive there. And you're giving homes to nature. You're giving food source to nature. By you allowing them to, by you not doing anything to protect nature, what are you doing? You are allowing these businesses to pop up, to charge you whatever the heck they want to charge you for something, when you could have grown it yourself. Not only that, when you go in the market, does it even taste like food? I don't care what label's on it. Does it taste like food? When you buy a fruit or a vegetable, it should taste like that. It shouldn't taste like cardboard or have no flavor at all whatsoever. And so what are you paying for? Why even bother to go to the market? Why waste your money and your time? Because those markets have put mom and pop businesses out of business, and they've stolen ideas. And how do they give back to the community? They should be feeding everyone in the area that's hungry and just give out gift cards for whoever needs it. Not only that, they should have had a kitchen if you wanted to make hot water or whatever. You know, like Whole Foods has, you know, they prepare like a hot bar and a cold bar where they can get whatever they want. But if you want to make your own food a certain way and you don't want to prepare it like that, they should have an area that you can do that. Why? Because it's a tourist area. And the more creative you are with it, the more you're going to bring to it. But they didn't ask me for my ideas. They thought they knew better, and they thought that, oh, you know, they have no common sense. They like to watch people who aren't doing anything wrong, rather than talk to them about their ideas of being more creative with what they have got going on there. I mean, even when I was at the airport, I was telling them what they need to do because it's a mess. They know how to keep it cold, though, and that's wasting money and energy. So that's part of the problem. Now, if you want more tourists there, then you want to make it so that it invites more people there. They should have had tables outside to where people can sit. But they didn't do that, and nor are they giving back to the community, and they see them throwing out tons of stuff, and which it only adds to the landfill. So why use your money to shop at a market if that's what they're doing? And why buy paper products if they're not protecting the trees? If it doesn't say we're protecting the trees, why buy it? Everything you buy, you want to look at to see what are they doing. Are they protecting the rainforests? Are they protecting the jungles? Are they protecting the woods? Are they protecting the wild lands? What are they doing? You don't need to consume as much as you think you do. Because if you go to the butterfly world in Coconut Grove, the landfill is taller than the butterfly world building. And that's not right. And you see them buying up plots of land and building one shit shack on top of another shit shack. And it doesn't even look good because it's overbuilt. Like I said, I don't back down to where I feel they should be doing better. But I also shouldn't be in this situation financially. Also, you want to try vegan food or just be more creative with that and see if that works for you. See how long you could go just eating vegan food. For me, I don't ingest suffering. Of course, a truck drives by immediately. when I'm saying that. I don't eat suffering. I don't eat meat and I don't eat seafood. I can't see feeding an animal and then putting them on your plate to eat and eating it. It just sickens me. I can't do that. And maybe I'm too honest, but oh well, that's a super sensitive empath and I can't be phony about it. I'm just telling you the things that I feel that can, you know, if we all did that, the world would be a better place. Because then you're not contributing to the landfill and you're not part of the problem. Like I stopped all of that. I don't think I was ever really like that. Because I was one of those people that did plant for the pollinators, that did plant for the wildlife, to make sure they had food all year round. I wasn't looking at everything like a business. Oh, we could sell this plot of land, we could do that. No, it's stupid. Because what they're doing is keeping you disconnected from yourself by cutting down the trees and by putting up businesses so that you have no place to ground yourself. Powers that be want you to stay being a slave to the system. So they control your money, and and when you look around, all these tax-exempt businesses, are they doing everything that they can to feed those that don't have anything? For all the money that they've been taking over the years, what have they been doing with it? And how often do they give back to those that really need it? I never thought I'd be in this situation that I'm in now. I'm too smart for that. So you know that this just wasn't the job of one person, why I'm in this situation. This was the job of many. And even though that happened, I still didn't quit. I still stayed on top of my sessions every single day. And I never quit. No matter where I was, I kept going. I didn't let anyone distract me, and I didn't follow anyone. I didn't follow anyone, and I didn't, I wasn't tempted. I didn't give up. I didn't cave. I didn't give in. And no matter how many times I was tested, I passed every test. That was the easy part. But living like this isn't. And I never expected to live this way. Then the other day I went to the Wild Bird Center, and I think I showed you some of the birds. And then another time I showed you other birds. I showed you hawks, owls, all different kinds of birds. They're important too, they matter. Out in California, those windmills should be taken down, every single one of them. Because they've hurt too many birds. They've done away with too many birds with those windmills. They have to come up with something better. And then going through this, you see who people really are. When you're going through something like this, because they can no longer hide. They could wear the phony mask when you're with them and everything is great, but then when you're in this situation, who's there for you? I did something on this planet nobody else or very few people have done on this planet. People aren't even thinking about that. They're spiritually poor and worldly rich. If you're spiritually poor and worldly rich, you have nothing. Because you can't take your possessions and your money with you when you die. You want to make sure that you don't let anyone control your money, and never do a joint bank account. I don't care who you're married to. I mean, it might work out if you've done your spiritual work, but if you haven't, that's a pretty scary situation if you ask me. You want to make sure that what you have can't be stolen from you. And you want to make sure that the people that you're around are trustworthy, are honest, they have integrity. If there's no loyalty, what do you have? And if people are only around you for the money, then is that real or an illusion? That's like the same thing when you're down and out. If nobody's around you, then you see who people really are. But when you have money, name, and fame, you don't know who's around you and why. It's only when you're down and out that you're going to find out who really has your back and who doesn't. Before you ever get married, you want to make sure that you're not going to struggle financially, because that's hell. And you want to make sure that you can trust them behind your back as well as in front of your face. And that you're working together, and that they're not taking all their money and giving it to their mother and their family and their brothers and nothing to you or their family, and you don't have anything, or the other way around. If that happens, your heart will tell you what to do. I would pack up my stuff and leave. Because you want to make sure that you're not marrying a man who's only interested in marrying women for money, or to, knock them off to collect insurance and everything else. And if they're so, they can't be without their mother and their family for a day, there's something seriously wrong with that. And if the mother comes to the house and wants to spend all the money, look through their clothes and spend the money and get the credit card, spend the money, come back and give you the receipts, there's something seriously wrong there. And by you sticking around, you're only hurting yourself. And if you're around people and you can see that how they really feel about you, if you suspect that they're hateful, don't waste your time with that. And you want to know, just because people wear glasses doesn't mean they have eye problems. They could be wearing glasses to make themselves look innocent. You want to keep your eyes open for everything. And when you hear a mother tell her son, nobody knows, and then she talks in a different language, you want to meditate on that and see what your heart tells you about that. You just want to make sure that the people that you're around can be trusted. And you don't want to be with someone who has to have a harem or is a womanizer. That's only going to cause you unnecessary pain and heartache. But you know what's best for you. And the same thing with a woman, if a woman does that. REINADHABSBORG@gmail.com, and I'll see you next time.